It's grown
If
up
you,
on my
if you,
back.
if you're gonna get your penis out, warn us.
And here
no,
we
it's not
have
fun, though, isn't it?
Ryan in his natural environment. You will see from the backdrop, he's the alpha male. Oh dear, that took me right off cue. That did. Do you know what? Last time somebody did that, I was in prison.
Well,
Get ready for the flashbacks tonight.
Ryan's son. What are
Yes,
you doing
yes, mother.
up this late?
Oh god.
Oh, I'm embracing the degeneracy that is herpetology.
So I could be his mom, and then I could be his daddy in one go.
That'd be my worst nightmare. What about you, Dana? Having hostage your mum and your dad.
What a massive fat transvestite that looks like Hoss. Yeah, that is definitely a nightmare
I'm not
right there.
being funny. After what you was dressed up on the Halloween show, I can do whatever they want.
Ever I want.
I've got so much hair. It's all wrapped around me.
Hoss is going to get choked out by the now sentient hair.
How are we all
He'd
doing?
enjoy
guys?
Yeah,
I'm good.
doing good.
I'm good.
Good.
Okay, I think I'm good now. Right, okay, cool.
No, I'm terrible. I'm terrible.
You look terrible.
I've had just about enough of Hoss's attitude for this week.
Yeah.
I'm up here. One more inch, and that's it. I'm blowing.
Do you know what? I mean, last night, you actually said you was ready. You was going to pull your own penis off last night, Danny. You were that annoyed.
Literally, you make me want to pull my own penis off.
I'm not being funny. But you do that every night anyway, mate. It's called masturbation. So don't give me that bollocks.
Hoss has gone off on a little tangent this week. And as always, he hasn't done his research. He started blurting off about stuff he doesn't know about, trying to make himself sound clever. He's got all philosophical at one point today. I was going, oh my God,
you're talking
about one being with nature. And I thought, what the hell is this muppet talking about? He's been frogging twice and he thinks he's David Attenborough.
Look. I'm not the one deluded thinking that David Attenborough is his long lost granddad.
Hey, there's no delusion there, mate. That is
now you've done it. That is it. That is proper fighting talk.
My mum told me since I've been a little kid. That's why I always used to watch him as a kid.
He's not even paying any attention to you.
And the thing is, though, Matt, he's good looking. What happened?
Hey, look, I got married. Got married. I ate some wedding cake.
You ate a box of wedding cake.
I was a lot better looking than this when I first met Sam.
I beg to differ. You had no beard.
No, you're absolutely right. I did look a lot more boy bandish.
Mine's really short at the minute. I shaved mine off.
Right, guys. Thanks for helping me share everything. I've done it. That's wicked.
What?
No problem, dude.
No. What was we doing?
Do you know what? Hossy only talks about the things he does. Have you noticed?
Yes, I have noticed.
I made a great cup of coffee, and I've also got some lemonade just in case I want to. Forward thinking.
That's all right, mate. At least you've done all the prep as well. You've done all the prep for the show and the podcast tonight. So if me and Danny disappeared now, you'd be absolutely fine on your Jack Jones.
I probably have a mental breakdown. Anyways, in the chat we have Ben and Andrew saying hi. So here you guys.
Hi.
Yo, Ben.
A bit of housekeeping before we get started. The usual, if you want to help support what we do, please head on over to reptileandchill.com and look at some of our merchandise for sale. Caleb, that is some moist lemonade, definitely. Moist.
What a lovely word.
Moist.
Oh, Danny doesn't like being at the bottom because the things come across his face.
Oh.
And poor old Ryan, he just gets totally taken out when you put up a comment.
You know what's great? I can do this as well.
Wankor.
So, yeah, our merchandise is available from reptileandshield.com. And if you would like to follow us on any of our social media, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter at the handle Reptile and Shield. Done. On to the show.
Just you mentioned.
I'm going to go for a poo. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Is that okay?
10 minutes for a poo?
That doesn't sound like a poo to me.
10 minutes is a rush.
What's I'm going to say? It's at least 15 minutes for a poo. Look at poor Ryan there. He's just like, I'm here, guys.
He's literally, these guys are an actual bunch of pricks.
No,
what did I even
think
agree?
that.
Why did I agree to this shit?
Matt Lowe, yes, we are going to see frogs, mate. We just got to go through the normal sort of like bits of the show.
Is that because I can't do that? Is that because I'm worse than beautiful or better than beautiful?
What do you think? Come on.
Definitely.
I absolutely am questioning the amount of brain cells you've got this week on a daily basis. Honestly.
Tortoise.
Tortoise. Why does everyone say tortoise?
So, right,
because there's a fucking eye in it.
Guys, let's
shut up.
On a serious note, a lady that I meet up when I walk the dogs in the morning. There's a few of us that go out, and she adopted a tortoise. I sent a picture out earlier today to Hoss and Danny to try and figure out what it was. Now, what she said was she brought it into the house last year. It's a rescue tortoise. I don't know how old it is. It's not a youngster. She brought it into the house to keep it warm through the winter last year, but she wants to hibernate it this year. Now, I know absolutely nothing about tortoises. How does she go about putting it into hibernation?
I think first things first, we need to find out what species it is. So if you keep talking...
First things first is brumation.
Can you pull the photo up, mate?
There's a way to do it somehow. What group did you put it in? Was it?
I put it into Reptile and Chill and shit.
Okay. Once I find that group, ding. So, keep talking, dude. I can do this. This can.
Okay. So I know we've got.
Is it a house pet?
It is. It was rescued. It stays in a garden, so it's not one that needs any heating or special sort of like exotic husbandry. It's kept in the garden all throughout the summer, autumn.
Isn't that usually like quite a big no-no?
If I'm honest with you, the tortoises that we used to have in the UK that you can't get anymore, where you used to paint your house number on the back of when they got, so that when they went 3 doors up the road, they'd know where it's come from. No, they would hibernate themselves, and they would bury themselves probably beneath your shed or in an area in the garden, or you'd put them in a box and put them in the garage to brumate over the winter.
Yeah.
What species was that?
That one.
No, what species was the one that you can't get anymore?
I'm not quite sure, because again, I'm supposed to be some people out there who will know. But
Put that up again, though, mate. Put that picture up again. So this is the picture that Karen sent to me, who rescued this tortoise, and it's been in her garden sort of like all summer.
Yeah, there's I know many people have done it for years and years and years, saying that they keep them outside and whatnot. But I do think sometimes some supplemental heating can be useful.
Matt Lowe says it sounds like a Herman's. Not the first. I think Danny, you said Herman's, didn't you? When I first sent the picture over.
Yeah, it does. It does look like Herman's.
But it could be a Greek. It could be a third spy. They're very, very similar, and it needs a wash, really.
No, it doesn't. It's not dirty at all. I looked at it earlier. It's not dirty.
It needs a wash.
It's just dull. It's just dull and old.
Yeah, Matt Lowe said ask Adrad. He'd know, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Anyways, we've got a
Adrad, Julian Clare, Chris Newman. Chris Newman's probably a really good one, actually.
Yeah, like Lantis saying to Herman or a Greek.
Yeah.
It's one of the two.
So okay, with that in mind, quickly, before we come on to Ryan, because Ryan's going to be our star guest tonight and he's going to get loads of awesome stuff out. What advice would you all give the lady on
shelter, deep substrates?
So I mean, years ago, and I haven't kept them ever, but years ago, you was told put them into a cardboard box, plenty of straw, keeping them, to keep them comfortable, and then put them in an area like your shed or your garage.
To be completely honest, being sensible and knowing nothing about tortoises,
keep it inside.
No, I'd put it in a thermostatically controlled fridge, because the problem is if it goes into
unfortunately, mate, she's not a reptile keeper. She won't have anything like that.
The problem is when we put them outside, if our weather fluctuates and they come out of hibernation or brumation, or if you want to call it, that can cause some problems. But yeah, I don't know a lot about them, but I have read stuff about that. But
okay,
I don't know.
So I think that's a good call. I think I could advise her to take it to the nature centre, do a weigh-in, health check, and then they will tell her all about it. Yeah,
maybe try just posting on a couple of UK-based tortoise groups as well. Just see if you can find a couple of good ones. Just post the situation there.
And
definitely. First point of call is get a positive ID on it.
That's a pretty good one. Tell Karen to go on the Tortoise Trust website. It's full of amazing tortoise-based information. She needs to get it somewhere where they can do a pre-hibernation check if she's going to do it. Reptile vets and charities such as Proteus will also offer this service.
Yeah.
Sorry,
cool. Danny. What was you saying?
First things first. She's got to get an ID. You need an ID, and it needs to be a very, very positive ID. Do you know what I mean? Because you can't go trying to brumate. No, we're all just speculating here. It's like, oh yeah, it looks a bit like a Herman's, blah blah blah. But until you saw it in person, you actually knew what you was really talking about.
Yeah,
you can't just ID an animal. You've got to be certain.
Definitely.
Sorry, Samantha Attenborough just said my neighbour used to put hers in the attic. Not sure if it's because it's warmer up there. I actually think that people used to put them in their attic. It went cold enough for them to hibernate, but not cold enough for them to freeze, so it wouldn't go. Because of obviously it being up in the attic and heat rises, it would never go below freezing up there.
Well, plus it keeps the frost off, the actual frost, and it keeps all the rain off. It keeps the elements out, but the temperature goes,
Definitely.
Okay, thanks, guys. That was a genuine question from somebody that come through to me today. I wasn't expecting it. What I will do is say, do you know what? Why don't you go and watch Reptile and Chill's live show, and you'll hear all about it, and you get mentioned.
Here, have this shameless plug.
Yeah. You can keep it. It's yours.
There's nothing shameless by plugging. Right, okay. Just before we get on to Ryan, loads of people have been saying hello. So we've got Katie Sharp, we've got Diane Haley, Sandy's something journey, not reading out that bit. Wayne Broomhall, Roberta Logan. So hello to everyone who's joining us. What's that?
Hiya.
Double wave.
Hiya.
Hi.
Right, okay. So behind.
Hang on. This is Hoss's double wave.
Do the hillbilly Rex.
Okay, so as we said on last week's episode, we said that we'd start getting friends on to show some animals, and the lovely Ryan.
We couldn't find any friends, so
we found a Ryan. So Ryan's going to come on, and he's going to take over now and show us loads of cool animals that he keeps, and we're going to go to the pub.
So, just for everybody's information, Ryan has been on and done a podcast with us. A very, very knowledgeable guy about frogs and toads So well worth a watch. This guys. He's also got amazing hair.
It's setting me up for failure here.
Yeah. Before we carry on, can we get the beast out, please?
The beast.
That's not your penis. It's your hair, darling.
Come on, show us that hair. 6 years in the making. This is.
I'm not your whore, Hoss.
You are. You absolutely are.
Oh yes.
Damn, son.
I just do the rest of the fucking show like this.
Luscious.
Wow.
Luscious.
Well, I want to know who's got the best head of hair there, to be honest. Stop looking at the cameras backstage.
I don't know. You can't see.
Look, you can't do it because I've removed it. Oh, look.
Who's got the best head of hair?
I don't know. It's pretty close.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's a similar length. Right then, let's get on to the important stuff now.
Do you see this? See this? This is my cringe face.
I thought that was your bitch face.
No, that's his. I'm pissed off with Hoss face.
my resting bitch face is the same as my cringe face. So.
Okay, so
all right. So I'm going to start off with what was the first tree frog that I got, not the individual, but the species, and that is the Australian white tree frog. Why
was that your first species?
Because basically they're one of the easiest tree frogs to look after. They are incredibly simple in their care. That sounds a little bit jumpy.
Hey, look at that! He's awesome.
So Ryan, I've noticed you put your gloves on, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, this is just because of the fact of amphibians in general are very, very sensitive with their skin. They absorb a lot of their they hydrate through their skin. I've forgotten the word. Minerals. That is a very important word. And they are also sorry.
It's really good practice then if you're handling your amphibians to put on some latex gloves.
Yeah.
Any type of latex gloves, or do you have to look out for
just as long as the surface of the actual glove that you'll be handling with isn't covered in dust or anything like that, any of the weird fucking powder that they put in there.
Yeah. Totally would you suggest is when you get your latex gloves, just give them a quick rinse under the tap, or
that's what I've done with these. Just going to adjust a little bit, so it makes it a little bit easier. But so as you can see, I don't know if you can see actually, but this guy is rubbing his face, and that's where he's starting to shed. And frogs actually shed what is effectively their sort of second layer of skin, where they are actually covered with don't jump on the laptop, you dickhead. They're covered in a mucus membrane, which effectively it is a second skin. And that's why another reason why I'm handling without. Oh, what the fuck are you planning? That's why I'm handling with gloves as well, just because human skin will just tear through that membrane and just expose it to bacteria, high humidity, which will cause bacterial infections in their skin, which would just be really, really irritating to deal with, and it can end up killing the frog, causing permanent damage. So
random question: is that the membrane? Do they peel that? Is that the one they peel off?
Yeah, that's what they'll peel off.
Peel off and eat that. Yeah.
Have you witnessed that? I've saw it once with Smop Turner, and he's absolutely amazing. It's like.
All right. So I'm just going to put this guy down.
Just for Danny's reference, how many flies could that one eat in one sitting?
This guy wouldn't eat flies. He's a bit too big. He will eat.
You've not seen the flies in
medium
Norfolk.
Locusts.
Yeah.
Mate, you'd only need one.
So I don't know if this guy's going to eat or not. Oh, no. Okay, he's just going to eat. And now he's biting my finger. So as you can see, getting bitten by these guys, they are very, very aggressive feeders. Everybody thinks
I smell the locust. I eat the locust.
He's just going to hold on for a little bit now. So how was your guys' day?
But Ryan, this is good stuff for people to see, because if they're about to have frogs, people start panicking and waving their finger around, going, "Oh my god, it's on my finger," but you just wait, and soon enough he realizes
it's not food.
It's not food.
Have we established that this frog's not venomous yet? Is he okay?
Yeah.
He's going to be all right?
Yeah, he's fine. He's very set on trying to eat my finger.
He's really trying to get that down there, isn't he?
I'd rename that one Hoss, because he's probably still thinking, I could actually eat this guy.
Get off.
That's all I've thought about, to be honest.
Right. So, let's see if he'll actually eat the look.
Very cool.
No, he's just going to freak out.
Just want your finger.
Eat it. There you go.
Yay!
Okay, satisfied. He's like, oh my God.
So another interesting thing about frogs is if you look, you'll see he's sort of closing his eyes and pulling them in almost. And that's because basically frogs will pull in their eyes and use it as an extra assistance as to push the prey item into the stomach, because it's just a connect line.
Yeah.
So they will just literally suck their eyes out of their sockets and push it down.
Okay.
Which is another weird thing these guys do.
And it's like an extra muscle to swallow with.
But I've seen Hoss eat a kebab like that. I thought there's no way he can get that in his mouth. And then I'll just see his eyeballs disappear and he sucks it in.
just starts grudging it, eyes roll back, disappear, and just so this is another white tree frog. However, this is one of my big females from the colony of 10. As you can see, there's a little bit of size difference.
Whoa, she's a big girl.
Chunk.
If I was female, that's exactly what I'd look like.
I've seen a few of your Tinder dates, mate, and they're not too dissimilar.
So I'm going to feed her as well.
Actually, that one needs a Mars bar, mate. Don't do it.
You've got to give him a treat for chilling out on the video.
Yeah.
That's not a Mars bar.
Look, straight in, no messing.
Amazing. Yeah. She's hungry.
No
awesome.
Now, if that one jumps over, Ryan's going to go flying with it.
I've got something down the bottom of this pile that I feel like you guys will appreciate.
Okay.
Is it a dildo?
Oh yeah, just extra large.
Are we the same person, Danny? Seriously.
Right. So,
sorry, George, Ryan. Georgia said, "Evening, oh, what an incredible room, Ryan," and he's absolutely right. There's a few people agreeing with him, saying that you've got a fantastic room.
Yeah, I'm a bit jealous actually. Is that your bedroom or is it an actual reptile room? Bedroom.
Oh, hang on, I'll just look behind the scenes.
Can we see?
This is all my unit. Yeah, this is my bed.
Yes, yeah, that's where the magic happens.
Those are all the quarantine bibs.
Can I just make an observation?
Are you on TV?
Yeah, I am, because I got it on the Xbox. Just so everyone knows, Ryan is very modest.
So can you do me a favour? Can you point your laptop to the TV for us, please?
What? Just fucking. There you go.
I've always wanted to be in your bedroom.
Are you trying to create a paradox?
You can't do it.
Are you trying to create a paradox here?
Yeah.
There we go.
So
I don't think we're smart enough for that.
It is an amazing room, though. It's like, phenomenal.
Thank you.
George, I know it's a really good room, but can you not use the porn word, please? Because people are going to get ideas. Look, he's even putting the gloves on now. Oh, fuck no.
This one's specifically for you, Hoss.
Ryan, bear in mind, Ryan's only 12, so he doesn't know what porn is as well.
That's a bit generous, isn't it? 12?
Yeah, he's 9. Gosh.
All right. So,
if this is a centipede,
the fucking white tree frogs are trying to bite me from the other side of the bed. They're trying to bite me through the tub from about 2 foot away. What? All right. So, most of the animals, the rest of them, are Medusa, which are the waxy monkey genus of tree frog, and these are like probably some of my favorite animals I have in my collection, just because of how rare and just generally like amazing they are. Like, it's hard to find these guys in captivity as it is, but the fact that all of mine are CB is just ridiculous. I got so lucky having the opportunity to buy these. So this is Folly Medusa Burmisteri, and he's dead.
Well, it was
Just jumped into a power socket.
Now they're impossible to find in captivity.
This is why.
It was anyway. Gosh, I thought he was a professional.
So these guys are quite delicate. Oh yeah.
Oh, see.
Professional bullshit. So
Amazing.
yeah, they're called waxy monkeys because of the way they walk. They don't tend to jump. They tend to just sort of crawl everywhere.
I see. I love that.
Like
Did you just say they don't tend to jump after one
description.
jump?
That wasn't a jump.
Yeah,
that
the
was a
first
leap
thing
of
he
faith.
did. It's the first time he's ever been on live TV, and the first thing he did was jump. Totally contradicted everything Ryan was about to say about him.
This one's a little bit calmer. Same species, but yeah. So the reason why this species or this genus is called the wax monkey is because they all have the tendency to basically they will, instead of producing a mucus layer to protect themselves like normal frogs, these guys will additionally these little, don't know if you can see it, but you see these little sort of things behind the ears, or where the ears would be, those little pads. Those are glands which will secrete basically a wax which they will coat themselves in, and that is to trap in moisture and basically just heat proof them. Just purely because of the fact of these guys come from places where their basking temperatures are like 90 Fahrenheit all the way up to 110. So these are some pretty like.
Yeah,
sorry,
that's what freaks me out with regards to the Folly Medusa.
Folly Medusa.
Perfect.
Mike just tried to.
I tried. No, as you were talking, I tried to put you on. Then, if I'm honest with you.
Okay. You need to click
It's like
the grey button to do that.
So it's like an extra layer of protection, right, Ryan?
Yeah, they'll just.
When I have the Smop Turner, the thing that you're keeping it with a 30-degree basking spot and it's a frog and you don't keep it humid, absolutely terrified the shit out of me.
Yeah.
It's not natural. Well, obviously it is natural. It's what they need, but yeah, took a while to get used to that.
Yeah, it's it was an interesting leap because I went straight to the Folly Medusa bicolor, and that was when it was sort of like, hey, these are quite cool. You know, I've got a spare Viv over there, and look, another rare one's gone up for sale. I might have to grab that.
But they don't look real, do they?
No,
it's not.
They really don't.
It hasn't moved. That one's plastic.
Yeah, it is. Like, I can sort of gently move my finger and it will just balance itself.
Here's a question. And I had to move my Smop Turner out of the bedroom because of this. But do you struggle to sleep with all the rabbits going on?
Nope, not at all.
Like
I bet it's amazing.
It is. It sounds like a rainforest.
Some of them can be really loud, man. The fact that it was right next to the bed was probably not the best place to put them.
I know when we were talking to Zach and Luke, and I can't remember where they were, or who. It was probably Luke's, wasn't it? And they were kicking off behind, like, I'll say kicking off, but they were sort of like, as it was getting towards the night, they started chirping, should we say? And I mean, I always say this, and I haven't kept them. I love the sound because it reminds me of being in the jungle. Do you know what I mean? But people who have kept them said, "Oh yeah, it sounds amazing at first, but then when you're listening to it all night, it's really annoying." But Ryan, you obviously really enjoy that sound.
Yeah, I find it absolutely hilarious sometimes, especially when I'll be like talking to someone on the phone or something, and all of a sudden just a symphony of just tree frogs start going off. Like, I've got the African big eyes, 2 different species down the bottom of my bed, which sound like cats meowing. Got the bicolor, which occasionally calls, which sounds like basically like a deeper like cat meow. It's weird. Got the white tree frogs in this Viv here, which 6 of which are male, and they sound like dogs barking. Those are the ones that went off on the podcast, if you remember that.
Yeah,
the really loud ones. Got the dart frogs there. Don't really hear them, but that's and buzzing, which is quite an interesting one. Tomop Turner, mine. I've only heard them call once, and I really can't think of a way to describe it. My Savagis I haven't heard call yet. The painted bullfrog just screams like just a fox, which is weird.
Honestly,
my cane toad screams, which is weird. And the Burmisteri and the red eyes are like a really sort of clicking, which is a really cool sound. And because of one thing will start calling, everything else will start within 30 seconds. And it would just be really loud in here for a good 3-4 minutes, and then it would just go silent.
So that's interesting, because obviously they're all different species, yet they're triggering each other. So does that mean that some of these species could potentially hybridize, or do you think it's a case of it's noisy, I must compete to get my sexy time on?
Yeah, that's what I think it is. Because when you think about where these animals come from, obviously rainforests. Think for the birds, all the other nocturnal mammals that are calling, monkeys, other frogs, just generally manic noises.
It's quite a natural thing for them to do, isn't it?
Yeah, and if it's the Jurassic Park,
they hear noise and it's just.
Yeah, if it's the Jurassic Park rainforest, you've got that mobile phones going off every 5 seconds.
Oh, this is a good one. It's always back to her place if you pull on a night out, I guess.
That saves every reptile keeper ever. Okay, so what else you got for us then?
Now this one's being a little bit of a fucking psycho, so don't know how this will go. But here you go, Hoss. Tomop Turner.
Oh, see. I like them.
I miss mine.
Is that the tiger leg?
Just as I thought.
Tiger leg tree frog.
Yeah, these
super tiger leg something.
These guys don't jump.
Variation. Danny.
I see.
But,
I love the look of these. I do.
Yeah, you can see why they're called tiger legs.
To be honest, I had Tomop Turner, and I had one. Oh god, what's it called? The other species. Oh my god!
You see, Hoss is rubbish on live feed. He's usually tapped away on Google beforehand.
No.
He's got it all in front of him.
Because I bought what I thought were 5 Tomop Turner, but the other one was I can't remember now. I have to Google it. Can't remember.
Oh, that's super pretty.
I know the species you mean, but I can't really remember the name right now while I'm focusing.
Look at that. So
yeah, this is an adult male as well. So these are quite a small species of frogs.
Literally just backflipped.
Yeah, follow.
Yep.
Hypochondrialis or something like that.
Oh, you mean the fringed leaf frogs, right?
Yeah. So rather than the striping, they've got almost like.
Yeah, I know the ones you mean.
Slightly different.
If you bought those for Tomop Turner,
he's looking at his bone.
Well, to be honest, the reptile, I already had the 2, and there was another reptile shop in the area that was closing down, and I knew he had Tomop Turner there, so I kind of stormed in there and lowballed him completely. I paid £20 each for him, and I only thought there was 2 in there, and then when we just had a quick scout around, he found the 3rd one, but that wasn't Tomop Turner, so I was like, well, I'll just have it anyway. I was like, I'm not paying for that one because I don't want it. He's like, yeah, I'm closing down, you can have it.
So James has just joined us, and he's asking, sorry, I've only just joined you. Do you have any milk frogs?
I used to have milk frogs, but unfortunately they passed away because we had a heat wave a couple of years back. I'm still sort of getting used to having a lot of the really sensitive species to temperature. Like I had a Europlatus as well, and my air conditioner broke the night before the fucking heat wave hit, and there was just I tried, but there was just nothing I could do. They just ended up rolling over. Same with the Europlatus, which it's part of keeping is these sort of unpreventable things that happen. It's shitty.
it's quite important to talk about that though, because there's people who want to get into frogs, get into keeping certain species, and they probably don't know how sensitive they are, and they just probably think, I can put them in to this enclosure that I've had my other reptiles in, and they'll be fine. But as you've experienced, and you mentioned air conditioning there, where a lot of reptile keepers won't need air conditioning, especially in this country. but that's not the case.
I think the main thing we need to talk about as well is we're all good about boasting about our successes. We don't talk about when we fuck up and we do things wrong. Now, we all learn, we all make mistakes, and we all need to share. Because if I'd have turned around to you and said, well, actually, aircon's a bit temperamental, I've had one go in the past, then you might have had that trigger of going, right, okay, well, if my aircon unit goes, what do I do? What's my plan B?
Yeah.
If we don't mention these things and don't bring it into the forefront of our minds, then we 9 times out of 10 we don't even have plan A, so never mind plan B or C if we do need them. And I think, well, as reptile keepers or animal owners, we've got the responsibility to make sure that no matter what happens, we can look after them, and we need to. It's a learning curve.
But if Ryan doesn't share that, the next person is going to have exactly the same issue, and he's going to have to lose some for him to realise. Where if Ryan shares that, then that person will then go, oh, if I have these, I need to make sure this setup is suited to that species, because they're so sensitive. They won't lose any then.
Definitely. It's like Danny at the moment. Danny's took some Japanese rat snakes, and he's been struggling to get him to feed. And rather than sitting there quiet, not mentioning it, he's mentioned that he's struggling. And people have come forward and have you tried this? Have you tried that? And you believe, is it just the one that he's eating now, or have you managed to get
just the one now? Just the one now, yeah.
I mean, so by doing that, other people may have been sitting there silently, but have been reading what's been going on, and hopefully they've learned from something. And hopefully, when someone else pipes up and says, "Oh, this isn't eating," they'll stand up and they'll also, like I know Danny will tell people, "Okay, well, I've tried this before." Learning curve. We're all in together, man.
And Danny's got a lot of knowledge of keeping a lot of different reptiles, and even Danny was, could swallow his pride and go, do you know what? I'm struggling to get these to feed. Any help will be welcome, because we don't want our species to die. What we've bred, we don't want them to die. We've produced them. So, I mean, Danny, it's been great because you've tried so many different little things and tips that people have given you, haven't you, mate?
Yeah. I've tried a million things so far, and luckily, they're pretty good with a little bit of assist feeding, to be honest. In fact, actually, it was Dave Clemens' tip that worked an absolute treat with the tail.
Yeah,
and put it in backwards, and then they haven't got a lot of choice but to take it. Exactly.
And the hairs actually hold it down.
Yeah, exactly, because the hairs face backwards. If you put the tail in, bum end first, then it basically is harder to regurgitate. So they literally end up swallowing it. It's that whole motion they need to get used to. It's almost
Danny,
like.
I've got a really important question.
Uh-huh.
Did you take them for a drive round the block?
I haven't yet. I haven't done it yet.
Mate, that one, right? You need to take it for a drive round the block between now and the next show. And if you do,
run me through the whole scenario. So I'm gonna.
It's really
the snakes
easy.
are in a tub. The snakes are in tubs right now.
Yeah.
So
is
I'll
it?
take the snake.
No, it's in a tub. So can you then transport that tub to your car?
Yeah.
So get the tub, put it in your car, put the seatbelt over the tub, and go for a little drive. Okay. And then come back.
Hang on. Danny, if they got roads in Norfolk.
I've got a horse and carriage.
Okay,
I'll do.
Too noisy.
Forest.
And there is a little bit of science behind this, and people, I thought it was a joke, but I think it's this. You know, certain animals need a tiny bit of stress to get them going.
Yeah, it's positive stress.
Positive stress. And I think that just taking them out of their usual environment, bit of vibration because you're driving around. I mean, in a car, so it's got suspension, so you're not shaking the hell out of them. And then put them back.
So take them out for what, sort of 2 or 3 miles, 10, 15-minute drive. Okay, so then we come back. Yeah. And what am I doing? Am I feeding this snake straight away? Like, boom, I get it back in and then feed it? Or
I tried that. A couple of them took, and then I think I left them for an hour and then tried them again, and another couple took, where none of them were feeding.
So straight away, get them in as soon as they've been for a little journey. Get them in.
Get them on the table. Give them 5 minutes, and then just offer them something.
Yeah, it's like to do the enzymes in the stomach, getting them churned or something.
Oh, there's loads of different things that people say.
I've managed to get 2 of them strike feeding.
Nice.
With pure patience on its own, and it's been hard going because we all know that in general, there's always exceptions, but in general, boids like pythons and boas are a bit more snappy when they're younger.
Yeah.
So usually they take a little bit better.
And even
with some of the carpets we have trouble with, but
carpets you do, and it's really strange with them, and that's what I was just going to say. People say they are quite snappy, but even the really docile ones, their food response is usually amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
it's in general.
I struggle with mine, if I'm honest with you.
That's what I mean. You always get exceptions. It totally depends on the species. It depends on all sorts, doesn't it? And it depends on the individuals as well. You might just be unlucky one year and then real lucky the next. But on a whole, I have found that the colder climate. What are you doing? The colder. I find the colder climate colubrids are harder to get going. I think it's because 9 times out of 10 they need a brumation.
Yeah.
They'll hatch from their eggs and they'll have a brumation straight away, and they'll go dormant.
Yeah, a lot of things in captivity we do, and it's totally against all their instincts, and I should imagine that'll have an impact on their feeding responses. Right. Yeah. Having said that, I think
frogs.
Ryan,
we need one more frog at least.
So, do you ever have experience of a frog struggling to feed, Ryan?
Yes, quite recently actually. One of my dart frogs, the female Dendrobatus that I've got in my big tank over there, or had, and she ended up just the way. Okay, this is going to be a bit of backstory. The way frogs, most frogs feed is they use their tongue to grip the prey and all that, and their saliva is. Have you ever mixed corn flour with water and you know how it's like an impact solid, but then when it relaxes, it's a liquid again?
Yeah.
Their saliva is very similar to that, and so when it would strike, it would basically the saliva would act as an adhesive on the tongue, pull the prey out and back in. It would relax, and then they would feed it or eat it. Sorry. However, it seemed like she just basically stopped producing saliva the way the frogs would. And she just ended up losing weight, not feeding, trying to eat, just not being able to. And then eventually she just gave up. And so it was a case of putting her into a separate tub with some mini waxworms and just trying to get her feeding. And then eventually she just started feeding again. But that was only for about a week because unfortunately she passed away. And I think it just had something to do with old age because I got her as an adult. But when it comes to animals not feeding, you can't give up. You have to keep going. You just have to, no matter what, whether you think it's stupid or what, whether you think wearing a orange fucking t-shirt and wearing your socks back to front or whatever, just try it and just keep trying. You can't let that animal starve.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think that's why if it's not eating,
That really is the second you buy that animal,
yeah,
it's your responsibility to look after.
yeah. I think as well, there's always a reason for why an animal's doing something like that. So again, it's the normal bullshit you see on all the groups and forums. Blah 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 blah
Fine.
blah.
Humidity's
It's
fine.
wrong. All my parameters are fine. What's wrong?
Mhm.
Let's look at what your parameters are. Let's look at what your enclosures like, your temperature, your humidity, what food item you're offering. Let's go through everything you're doing, because there might be one little thing that you're doing. Like, say for instance, like if your smock turner, if without doing any prior research, I would not have kept them at a 30-degree basking spot. I just wouldn't have done it, because it's a fucking frog.
It's an oven for a frog, basically.
Yeah,
like you put anything else in there and it's just going to die.
Yeah, so if I'd have kept that at say 26 degrees, it probably wouldn't feed. If I'd have kept it humid because it's a frog, it probably wouldn't feed. But by keeping it how they're supposed to, things tend to do what they need to be doing.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, it comes back to talking to people. If something's going wrong, don't just sit there and wince about it on your own. Ask people, research into people who keep the same species. This is going on. How can I fix it? Have you had that? Have you had this happen to you before? What do I do? And learn. And that's all we need to be doing. He's talking. Definitely.
Right. Yeah. Right. Ryan,
Danny,
what's the biggest frog you've got?
funny you should say that. Give me a couple minutes to show off a couple of other things.
Well, we don't have
And
a couple
then-
of minutes. We have a minute and a half.
Are we running out of time? Are we running short on time?
Hoss is conscious of
I'm
time.
almost conscious of time. Right,
At work,
I'm conscious of time. I need a poo.
At work,
Right.
at work, we was in a meeting yesterday, and somebody said, "I'm conscious of time." I just burst out laughing. Everybody was looked at me as they say, "What's so funny?"
Are you okay there?
Oh
These.
man,
These are the true waxy monkeys, as they're common. Medusa savagi. I'm probably saying that wrong, but these are the guys that have like 90-degree Fahrenheit.
It's Savago, not Savage. From
It's got
Latin expert.
2 eyes at the end of it.
Yeah, it's silent.
What?
All right, yeah.
Two silent eyes?
Yeah.
For some reason, an
Yeah.
O comes out of nowhere.
you know, Hoss is the expert when it comes to
We all know
scientific names.
exactly. We all know.
But-
That's true.
And these you can
What
really
absolute
see
melt.
the wax. You can see the wax
Look
that
at
glands
them.
just above the eye.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Fucking mad lad running up my arm.
Like that one's like, nah, fuck you, mate. I'm going.
I love them.
Yeah, piss on your head, mate. But these guys are cool. These are like my second favorite waxies.
You have favourites.
These
I
these
got
aren't even.
slated for having a favourite once.
Well, everyone has their favorite. Like even if you got 30
Only
kids,
because you were talking about your children.
Yeah, mine's
Yeah, like,
Danny. Hoss,
every
Hoss is,
parent
I
has their
love
favourite
him. I love Hoss, but Danny's definitely my favourite.
I just hope I'm Hoss's favorite child.
You know what? Fuck him.
So-
He's gone.
This
I don't care.
cut him out.
this is my biggest tree frog.
Oh, okay.
This
Come on, this is important.
Fully Medusa bicolor. He's a bit of a lad in his
These
size.
are hench.
Oh,
And to be honest, that's not the largest of how they
No.
get, really, is it at all? When
No,
I was
this is a male. Females get about double this size.
when I was volunteering at Drayton Manor, they had some bicolor in, and I could not believe. And the best thing about these guys as well, when you feed them, they grab it with their hands and they like manhandle it into their mouth.
Did you?
It's like watching Danny eat when he's pissed. It's great.
Danny doesn't
Have you
use
seen
his
the,
hands when he's
videos?
pissed.
Have you seen
Sorry.
the videos and the pictures I
Danny,
posted? to the
you
group?
go straight in with the
Eating
mouth,
this
don't you, mate?
Oh yeah, like that.
Stop playing with yourself, Brian.
It literally does look like it, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Just keeps
got
on
weird
pulling frogs out of his
inscriptions on
pants,
these,
doesn't it?
I see it. I doubt this guy will eat, but he might. Go on, eat, you bastard.
Excuse me, it's on my face. Get off my face.
He's not
Excuse
even-
me.
Go on.
It's on my face.
Go on.
Please get
No,
off.
you
he does
wanna.
not want. He looks pissed with you.
He always looks pissed with me. He looks like my dad. Nah, he's probably not going to eat. Oh, maybe.
Oh,
Thinking about it. He's like, that's a nice finger.
Yeah, this guy hurts when he bites.
honestly,
Yeah,
got a
he's got
decent bite on him.
he's got
You've seen the
basically
head
like bony pads in his mouth, which just basically like blunt teeth, which when they dig into your skin and they're clamping down, it kind of hurts.
Well,
But yeah, so if I can get him to walk real quick across my hands, you can see the stripes. Or did I say the
Yeah.
stripes? The dots.
Very cool. Very, very, very cool.
Which
If I had the patience or the knowledge, I'd definitely keep bugs.
yeah, he's
Oh,
got.
very cool.
Honestly, they are.
Honest to God,
Don't
when it comes to frogs, this genus is exactly where it is.
These are just.
is that
my
the
favorite?
pinnacle? Is that the pinnacle of the frog world? There.
In my opinion, yes.
Wow.
He's also got a little love heart on his toe. Don't know if you can see it.
I love that.
No, you can't see
Yeah.
it. But yeah, I love this guy to bits. He's awesome.
He's very cool.
So,
I mean, he's
Gonna show
big
you-
enough to suck you off, isn't it?
Why is it
Definitely
always-
big enough to suck halves off.
Yeah, I just seen the prey that he was that Ryan was giving him. He's definitely big enough to suck the ass off.
so I'm actually going to put this guy back in his whiff because it's right here.
I think you should, because I keep being like attacked by. But yeah, thank
This
you for
one
coming
was
on and showing us some lovely frogs. It's
Oh no,
been-
there's one more if that's all right.
Fuck, I'm,
Yeah.
The
conscious,
biggest one, yes.
I'm conscious of time, man.
No, nobody gives a fuck now. You're
Oh.
too late.
Look, I've drank my coffee. I'm on to lemonade.
I'm conscious. I'm
And-
conscious of
and-
your time now.
Do you know what? I
Lemonade.
honestly think that the listeners are really appreciate sort of like Ryan coming on and doing what he's doing. I find it fascinating.
Definitely.
Are you ready? Are you lot ready?
Yeah.
I don't think you're
Oh,
ready.
It's supposed to be a giant cane toad.
Is it a Pac-Man?
He's going in with two hands. It's got to
Giant
be a
cane
bullfrog.
Giant cane toad.
Look at the
Whoa.
size of that.
Is that a bullfrog?
Yeah, African bullfrog,
African
Wow,
bullfrog, yeah.
very nice.
big boy.
Look at them. They are absolutely humongous.
Can we
Do you know what? Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is? That is
What's that?
absolutely useless. Look at it. Look at it. Look at the state of it. Where's
This
Zach
guy
and
has
Luke?
teeth. This guy has teeth and eats rats.
Where's
and my-
Zach and Luke? I want to tell them
locusts,
that all their
anything.
frogs are useless.
Wow. They can move quicker than you think. Honestly, that is like Haas running at the start of that Herp video he did. That can
Will-
move.
Kills tortoises.
Yeah.
Will he eat indigenous people from Norfolk? That's what I want to know.
Look at
He'll
the
definitely fucking
absolute
try.
state of it. Look at it. Absolute fat mess. Get off my camera. Look at it. Oh my god.
Give me a kiss, Danny.
God, it's so ugly. What is the point in it? Honestly, it's like rabbits. Do we really need them? Honestly, come on.
So
Genuine question.
Yeah,
do we
do.
need them?
And what would the big constrictor be on?
yeah, I should imagine
Flies,
that flies for a reason.
rabbits, and bullfrogs. Do we need them?
Room 101, get them in the sea.
Get them in the fucking sea, all of them. Off we go. Brilliant. No, that's amazing.
Wait,
Ryan,
what
you're
the
amazing.
flies? What the flies go on about? Because NPR was talking about your flies on their talking about flies on
What
their
flies?
latest podcast.
What flies are done up?
Well, apparently they've had an amazing trip over in Australia, and every time there was some flies coming past them. Was it Owen? Yes.
So Ryan, just before we kick you off to close up, you've got one last thing to show Danny.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh god, a tub
Look
of
at
fruit flies.
Look at them.
They're.
Look at that.
Do you
Look
know what?
at
Fruit flies aren't so bad because they don't fly. They're not really flies, are they? They're just walks.
that.
They are walks.
Crack
Yeah.
it.
They're just
You know what I mean? What do you call a fly with no wings? A fucking walk.
Oh God. He
You know
always
what I mean?
comes
Look
in
at the
right at
state
the
of them.
end.
Now, you've been watching from the beginning, mate. Definitely.
Oh god, quick, cancel the recording before Steinus has his fun. Get rid of
Right.
him.
Anyways,
Get rid
right.
of him. In the sea, Kevin. Go on, off you go.
So,
I love him to bits. I do.
on that note,
Genuinely.
so, Ryan, thank you for coming on. It's been great, but you've got to
Thank you
go
for having
now.
me.
Ryan, thanks, mate.
Right.
Honestly, I think
Into the sea I go.
everybody's really enjoyed you coming on. Thank you.
You're the
Right.
bomb.
Thank you for having me.
You're the bomb. You're the bomb ting.
Bum ting.
I'm keeping that. Right, okay. So,
Okay.
thanks
You
for
saw that,
coming
yeah.
on. The podcast
Yeah,
this week is with Raymond Robinson. We're going to be talking about his personal.
Who's Raymond?
I don't know.
Who the hell? Who is that?
We
Who do
don't
you
know
mean? What are you on about? Raymond
Oh,
who?
Let's
Raymond.
talk about this on the live show.
Yes. Right, okay.
He
Once
does something in a zoo. Who?
Yeah.
he's the curator of Belfast Zoo, so he will be on the show. That'll be available.
I don't know him. Never heard of him.
He's absolute
These two-
no one.
These
Never heard of
two,
him.
these two bum nuggets are upset because I didn't tell them who I booked this week.
You only booked one guest and you got that wrong.
Oh, sorry. I booked Ryan as well. Yeah.
Oh, you did, mate.
I don't know.
Well,
And that-
technically
I tell you
too. Well,
that was genius. That was Hoss. Absolute genius. That was.
So that podcast will be available from 7 a.m. Monday morning. And if you want to help support our podcast, then please head on over to reptileandchill.com and you can look at some of our hoodies and t-shirts for sale. Plus, as well, Danny's now got a Christmas design out, which is about a grumpy giller that doesn't like Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. Smash it.
Definitely. And if you want to follow us, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. And as per usual, give this a share and let everyone know. Danny is a wanker. Love you, bye.
Love you, bye. Ryan.
Mhm.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you, bye.
Love you. Bye. Yeah.
Hoss, do your heart song? Do your heart song?
No, you hang up.
Look, you can't.
You hang up. No, you hang up.
Your friend Raymond.
Who? Yeah,
No one.
we don't know who he is either,
You
Chris.
don't- No.
No one.
Right.
Ta-da.
Love you. Bye.